It's as simple as that. We're jerking off because we're horny. And hey, if we could have a bit of a action right now, we're all over that. Let me tell you. Believe me, ladies, if a man can get the little general standing upright, he's going in for the kill with you. Peter. Walsh. Guys and girls, that's right. Welcome back to the Peter Walsh Show. How's everybody going? We're so close to Christmas, it's incredible. Wow, this month is just fucking flying by, guys, isn't it? And it's not been a bad old Christmas so far, hasn't it? You know, the lead up to it. A lot of people say, isn't it always the nice part of Christmas where you get everything ready and the lead up to it is great. I love the lead up, but I don't like all the fucking rushing around, I gotta say. You know, people are gone mad. Like, why is this city always busy every single day and they're rushing around? Like, and it's on weekdays too. Like, do they not have enough time in the fucking weekends? Or even if so, how is it so busy for those leading weeks up to Christmas Day? There's so many days you can get your Christmas shopping done, and it's that frantic. I really don't get it. I really don't, guys. Honestly. But anyway, apart from that, Christmas is fucking great. There's always the pro and con to it, isn't it? And look, I know there's people out there that don't really like Christmas, and hey, that's understandable. But anyway, let's move it along. So guys, today I want to talk about dating news and how the brain rewires as we grieve. I'm reading that from a headline here. And it's an interesting one. Because it's basically, we're focusing around here. We're going to be focusing around a couple of topics today. But this one now, how the brain rewires as we grieve. This is actually one of the psychologists that I actually do like here, I've got to say. If anybody's listened to my other podcasts where I've gone through some other articles, some of the people they're just full of shit. They're not psychologists. They're just trying to brainwash you into doing something. And like some, woke person or some cisgender or something, and they're pretending to be a psychologist and they're telling you what you should be into and what you this and that, and it's all bollocks. Most of them are. But this person is on the ball, I think. And now we're talking about like if you're in a dating and if you lose someone. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. And I mean, hopefully no one's losing anybody before Christmas. That would suck. Hopefully none of you are. And if anybody dumps somebody before Christmas, unless it's for, and I mean a really, really good reason, like you got absolutely cheated on or stolen from, well then, apart from that, you can wait until after fucking Christmas Day. You know what I mean? Even after New Year's if you can. But certainly after Christmas Day. But look, if anybody does get dumped, it's a hard thing. And I find this one interesting because, hey, I've been here too. I've been here where I can't get out of fucking bed, or actually even worse, I didn't want to get out of bed. I actually think that's worse, because you do have the energy, you could do shit, but no, I rather choose to stay in fucking bed and be miserable. I've been there, done that, wearing the t-shirt, guys, with girlfriends I've had. You might last a couple of days, but I haven't had it for a couple of months or anything like that. Touch wood, thank God, so far up to now yet anyway. But we've all been there. We've all been there with when you get dumped or you have to dump somebody. I think the worst is when you actually have to dump somebody when you know they're not right for you. It's kind of like having the pet dog that you got to put down. You love it to bits, but it bites somebody or nearly kills somebody when they bite someone, and then you've got no other choice. I've been there when I loved a girl to bits. Well, I thought I loved her to bits at the time, and I had to dump her because she was no good for me. Absolutely no good for me. Cheated on me all the time, didn't give a damn. And, it is fucking tough. You go into that paranoia. Oh, I'm in town. Jesus. Will I see her now? Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. And then you always have that moment where you walk past that street outside the favourite restaurant you always go to. You know that feeling? And then you're like, oh, no. Is she up there now, I wonder? You have those I wonder if she's up there now with her new boyfriend because she's in love with the next guy. Fucking tired. You can start going nuts in your head. Haven't we all been there in that one? So let's go into this article, right? I think it's actually quite interesting, and hopefully I might actually learn something from here too. So she's saying here, it's a lady psychologist now. In recent decades, neuroscience has revealed fascinating information about our relationships and what happens in our brains when we grieve for a loved one who is dead or gone. And I suppose in many ways, guys, a breakup can be very like somebody dying too, you know, that like you can't compare completely, but it's a loss. It's a loss. So, okay, so she continues, particularly if this loss is devastating and changes everything, such as when a devoted spouse dies or a beloved partner unilaterally ends a relationship, our grieving brain has an enormous rewiring job to do. So, you know, and she's saying here in the next chapter, how the brain encodes our bonds to loved ones. The human brain is hardwired to form attachments. It keeps track of our most important relationships along 3 dimensions: space, time, and depth of the connection. When we are apart, our brain keeps our bond intact by predicting when, where, and whether a reunion is likely to happen. These dimensions are also described as here, now, and close, referring to our ability learned during early childhood to soothe ourselves when separated by calling up a mental representation of our loved one and counting on our reunion. Whoa, that's deep shit. Our most important bonds are also permanently and deeply encoded in the brain, which develops the implicit knowledge that certain people are special to us and will always be with us. This encoding happens during intimate, intense, loving moments. Well, that makes total sense. It can even be a kiss or a hug. So she says, of course we consciously understand that death and unforeseen events can permanently tear us apart, but as far as the non-conscious brain is concerned, whenever we are separated for a minute, few hours, a week, or more, it knows we will be reunited. Without this implicit knowledge, life would be unbearable. That's interesting, as we'd be thrown into panic, grief, and seeking every time we were apart. Instead, with this implicit knowledge that our loved one is everlasting, we rest assured. That's actually quite interesting, guys. You know, I never actually thought of it that way. I just thought the fact that we're such a routine type of creature that when we don't have our routine again, that we get all fucked up. Now, maybe it's the same thing that this lady's on about, but I think what she's saying here, what I'm getting from this is that you're not just missing your routine or your loved feeling for that person, but what you're missing and what your brain and heart is also saying, or your brain actually, is I will be back with this person. That's very interesting. I actually never thought of it that way. Now, I know we all say, oh yeah, you know, we all sort of get convinced sometimes that we'll be back with our ex and we're hoping they're just going to be knocking on the door here and we're hoping this and hoping that. But I didn't know it was actually part of psychology. I thought it was more just sort of a fool's hope. I didn't know there was a lot of meaning behind that one. There you go, that's interesting. So she's on about the brain's neural maps here. So she says, to keep track of your relationships, your brain creates a neural map. The neural map for a marriage or long-term partnership contains detailed information about your beloved, your relationship, and life together. Your brain acquires this information through lived experience. Example, in the morning, your brain hears someone breathing, feels a body, or sees a lump in the bed, and instantly knows it's your partner lying next to you. Your brain knows when your partner will return each day. Perhaps your brain predicts when they'll complain about hot weather, fix the car and the plumbing, buy groceries on Tuesday after pickleball, hike with you on weekends, celebrate your birthday, annoy you with bad puns, leave dirty clothes on the bathroom floor, and give you a cute card on Valentine's Day. Thanks to this neural map, your brain requires a very, very little computing power to navigate life with this person. Instead of each moment being a shock or unexpected surprise, with loads of new negotiations and decisions to make every day, life flows more easily with a rich, filled-in neural map of predictable routines. There we go, routines here. Customary habits, realistic expectations, a recognizable presence, and a familiar feel. Yeah, well, that all makes sense, you know? And they're saying you can't seem to absorb the news that they're gone. If they're gone, how can they be gone? They're everlasting. That's what we're saying in our heads. Interesting. They say you may feel, see or hear loved ones because your brain is still holding on to here, now and close and interprets common sensations, sights and sounds as signs of their presence. You may feel disorientated and wonder if you'll wake up from this bad dream because surely they are everlasting and will be reunited. You see, that makes me think. You know when you feel like you've broken up with somebody? Like, guys, I'm even going back to that ex-girlfriend now I had years and years ago where I was just completely in fucking bits. And I was secretly hoping that she was going to knock on my office door at any fucking waking moment. I genuinely was hoping. And, you know, and I even remember vividly looking out my office door. I've got a little tiny window on it. Looking out my office door and just looking and staring and hoping, okay, here she comes. Here she comes. Like, I genuinely did that. But I wonder, you see, this woman is saying that we actually think that, oh, we're going to be back together again. So, or is it a hope that you want to be back together again? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you really genuinely believed it, surely you wouldn't be saying it to yourself, right? So therefore, me hoping that my girlfriend's going to be knocking on my office door here, or my ex-girlfriend knocking on my office door here, if I'm hoping, doesn't that mean that I don't have it anymore? And by the way, guys, I think it's a great thing to hope. Like, when people say, oh, you can't be getting your hopes up now, Peter, for your, you know, hopefully you're going to get back with your ex here. You know what, guys? I say, fuck that. Because I think that's how you're feeling. You can't fight the feeling. Be self-aware. I think this woman's onto a lot of stuff here, actually, you know? And I was having a bit of a debate about, is that right that, oh, we believe they're everlasting, or is it hoping that that they're going to be everlasting? Now, let's just assume she's right. I mean, look, end of the day, she's a psychologist, even though I don't agree with most of them that I've read on these podcasts, but still, I think she's onto to a lot of good shit here, you know? And, like, by the way, guys, I'm certainly not saying I have loads more information on a psychologist. No, not at all. But I've read a lot of con jobs here on the internet. This woman seems to know what she's talking about. So, me seeing through the bullshit here, I think this woman's onto something. That's very fascinating. I'd like to know, I'd actually love to pick Sigmund Freud's brain on this one. Do we believe that it's going to come back? Or do we hope that it's going to come back, that relationship? Now, I guess you'd have to wonder if it is, and again, I'm drawing on my own personal experience from my ex-girlfriend here now, guys. Did I really believe that she was coming back? Like, I do remember when I saw her in a bar, when we broke up about 2 months later, I saw her in a bar with a guy, and I nearly died. I nearly fucking died. Thank God she didn't see me. I was walking through a street. She comes out of another street, but it was a couple of blocks up, and I just saw her, and I know exactly her clothes, the hat she wears, everything. And I just saw her and I went, oh my God. And she was holding hands with the guy. I nearly fucking died. Nearly had a heart attack. So again, is that the shock of what this woman's saying, that you believe that they're going to come back to you? Or is it your hopes crushed with this person? Or maybe it's the same fucking thing here, you know? You know, guys, I don't know. Maybe you're screaming at me here on listening to the podcast going, Peter, you're a fucking moron. What are you talking about? It's the same thing or it's completely different. Or duh. I don't know. It's making me think here, guys. I really have to say. You know what? Even I'm learning here. I'm trying to learn here. I'm going to fucking sleep on this one myself, I gotta admit. But okay, we're going to move this on here, fellas and ladies. And here we go. No, I won't even mention this one's name, but she's half Asian, half American. She practices Eros coaching. Eros coaching? E-R-O-S coaching. Oh, Jesus, wait till you hear this one. My God. Now, this woman is basically saying she tries to help couples get over their sexual challenges. And she's basically saying here in one paragraph that Men prefer to jerk off than actually have sex with their girl, or guy if they're gay. They prefer to jerk off because they're not feeling comfortable in our bodies. Well, that's coming from a woman, okay? Does she have any weight to that one? I don't know. But I tell you as a man, and I'm speaking about most fucking men here, we jerk off because we're feeling fucking horny. It's as simple as that. We're jerking off because we're horny. And hey, if we could have a bit of a action right now, we're all over that. Let me tell you, believe me ladies, if a man can get the little general standing upright, he's going in for the kill with you. Okay? He's going in for the kill. He ain't gonna sit there and jerk off. Now, maybe you've got some sexual scenario that you have with him where you're doing something and he's jerking off, or, you know, whatever. And now, that's a totally different scenario. But I don't know a lot of men, seriously now ladies, I don't know a lot of men that would settle for jerking off when they're horny than the real thing. Like, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of men out there, you know what? And girls, I'm speaking about myself here too. Sometimes it's just a lot easier to just do it yourself because you don't have to go on the date. It's, oh, I'll go into my bedroom or into the bathroom, whatever it is, and you do your deed and you're in, out within 2 minutes, job done, good luck, thank you, good night. That's it. And then you're back to watching your favorite program on Netflix or whatever it is. And I'm sure there's plenty of women out there too. But I'm saying, if a man can't get it up, that's a totally different scenario. It's not that, oh, a man goes around saying, okay, I'm feeling fat. Oh God. Now, imagine this, ladies, right? Peter, or most other guys I know, if I'm really horny right now, and all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, I look in the mirror when I'm naked after the shower and go, oh my God, I've put on so much weight, it's unbelievable, holy shit. And then I lose my horniness. That doesn't happen. Okay? I've lost my horniness because of something else. And I think I'm speaking for most men on this scenario here, ladies. And I'm serious. I'm being really fucking serious. Because I know it can be a thing for women. But look, hey, it's understandable. Men have some things that we get vulnerable and feel insecure over. And then women have things that they feel vulnerable and insecure over as well. And men would feel differently over certain things. But most men I know are not feeling insecure because we have a bit of love handle out on our stomachs or our side of our waist here. We ain't feeling that at all. If we're feeling it, trust me, we're feeling it. And if we have a choice between having it, we're having it with the woman, not the other way around. Now, the sex mightn't be great and we may finish off ourselves. Let's leave it at that. But, you know, it depends. Like, it just depends. We'd much rather do it. Put it this way. If men preferred to just jerk off, we wouldn't go to bars or nightclubs. We'd just sit at home. Job done. You know? Like, problem solved. Game over. It's very black and white here. So, don't pay attention to that, ladies. Okay? And now, trust me, there is guys out there that will actually settle. Oh, do you know what? Now I'm fucking half tired now from work this week. I am feeling horny, but you know what? Ugh, going on a date now and I've got to, you know, I don't even know if I'm going to get on with the girl. Well, like, what if she's a bitch? You know, she could be a nice girl, but what if she's a bitch? Then I've wasted the night and, you know what? I just stay in. Screw it. You know? Like, there can be a bit of laziness too, but let me tell you now, ladies, if a man is feeling 100% horny, he's getting up off his fucking ass and getting out there to a fucking club. Now, he may decide to do the deed at home on his own, but if we're really at top fucking flight here, he might do it at once at home, and if he's still feeling horny, he's like, oh, fuck this. I'm probably going out to a club now. Screw this. Let's see what I can get. Point is this, ladies. We would choose you, the woman, or a man if you're gay, over doing it ourselves most of the time. If we're looking for just the lazy, quick, cheap option, well, yeah, we'll do it ourselves. But don't pay attention to this. And you see again here, this is just another article that people are writing total bollocks over. I think they're looking for an attention, or they're looking for a headline grab here, and they're just talking shit. They're talking out of their ass. You know? Jesus. Fucking hell. Okay, like, let me have a look at this one. Like, they're saying here. Now, they're speaking about Americans here, right? But I would imagine if it's the same for Americans, it's probably the same for us here too. They're saying 1 in 4... a second now, guys. It's a bit slow to come up. 1 in 4 Americans over 40 have never been married. Well, there's a depressing headline for anybody listening to this, if anybody wants to get married. Or maybe it makes you feel better. You know? Not everybody's getting the wedding. Does it really matter? I mean, I'm just trying to find here now. They're saying there are more single people over 40 than ever before. In 2021, a quarter of over 40-year-olds in the US have never been married, up from 20% in 2010 and 6% in 1980. So there was a big jump from 2010 up to 2021. 20%! Where's this coming from? Like, we didn't even get to coronavirus at this stage yet. What's that about? Or is it because of the dating apps? Because I'm sure... Didn't Tinder come in around this time? Like around 2010, 2011 maybe? No, it wouldn't have been that early actually. No, it wasn't. Because I actually remember myself, I was in my apartment. Second year of my apartment, that was 8 years ago. And 7 years ago was my second year, so... Is it only 7 years when Tinder came out? Anyway, guys, I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. It's not as... No, it's definitely not as early as 2010. It can't be. I could even check it up, but hang on, let me check it up. Let me check it up, guys. I don't know. I don't think... When was Tinder created? Let's have a look. Tinder, 2012. Okay. But then again, they're on about 2010 up to now. Jesus. Wow. But they no, hang on, sorry. They're saying up from 20% in 2010. Jesus, Lord God. You see, I wondered, do they mean from 2010 up to 2021? My God. Up from 20% in 2010 and 6%. Oh, fuck me, guys. I'm getting that all wrong. No, it's up 20% now in 2021. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, guys. I've just waffled on here for about 3 minutes talking about nothing. Sorry, guys. Fucking hell. Okay. So they're saying here, 70% of people in their 20s have already taken at least one action related to planning a wedding. Well, that's got to be the ladies. Because I know us men, we don't plan ahead this way. And we might get into it, yeah. But 70%? No, that's definitely... most of that percentage is the ladies. Here's another one. Is Gen Z thinking about their wedding? 51% envisioned what their own wedding might look like. Okay. I thought that would be higher, I have to admit. 32% said saved ideas and inspiration. And another 32% said looked up the cost. Huh. You know, I thought all those would be much higher than that, I have to say. I'm kind of shocked. Because it's in our nature. We want to mate. We want to find a partner, breaking it all down to what we really want in life. And they're saying here, among the Gen Z respondents, 53% said they definitely see themselves legally getting married in the future. Again, I thought that would be higher, while the other 28%, they're open to the possibility. Huh. Okay, here we go. What social media is doing. Oh, right. So they're saying, while social media comes with its benefits, it can also fuel comparisons across careers. right? And like lifestyle and relationships. Somebody says, I have an issue with social media for that reason, says, I won't say the person, who points to curated moments in social media. It's a risk factor when people go on social media and start to think about others in wonderful relationships. It isn't so good for the mind. Example, when you're at a restaurant, it looks like all the other couples are having a fine time together. You might think they must be doing great. Yet we don't know what they do when they go home and when they're not in a restaurant. You see, maybe that's got something to do with it. Then again, before phones and social media, I would have thought perhaps it's even worse when you don't have social media and you're just naturally dreaming and fantasizing what other people are doing. You know? Because if we weren't on our phones doing social media, we're watching an actual fucking TV program or an actual fucking movie at home with our full attention on the fucking movie or TV program. And we're probably, what? Guess what? We're watching a couple on TV. So I don't know about that one, guys. I really don't. The divorce rate is declining. For decades, almost half of couples face divorce. That statistic has dropped considerably among younger generations, with the US right now at 35%. What? 35%? They are the ones who may think they haven't been happy in the relationship in a long time. With only a certain amount of time left in life, they want to make sure they're happy. Many people in their 30s and 40s have witnessed or been influenced by divorce. That certainly has had an impact on people's attitudes. It's in the back of a lot of people's minds. Well, you know what? Actually, that kind of makes sense. Like when my parents got married, they were quite young. I mean, my parents, you know, they were still in the generation of you go out on 2 dates with somebody and you get married. You know? Like, lucky for me and lucky for my brother and sisters, and, you know, God bless, thank my lucky stars that I got my parents. But I mean, it is quick. Like when kids were getting married back then, it was literally, you know, a couple of dates and bang, you're getting married. Do you know? So no wonder there's a lot of divorces these days. And from that generation and era. Because you didn't marry the right people. Now, then again, you can have some great kids, so you did marry the right person because you have great kids. Or something other than kids has come out of your marriage or whichever. You know what I mean? So, wouldn't be looking at it as a bad thing. But that's interesting, and I think because things have changed these days now, people aren't just getting married straight away. Therefore, people aren't jumping into getting married straight away. Therefore, you're not running down the aisle. And then things can actually have a chance. But you know, I still see the problem. Because there's a lot of people that want to get married. They pressured the other person to getting married. Therefore, you're not the same person. You're almost acting out anything the other person wants to do. I see this a lot. You know, people will bow to the other person's needs, this and that, just to get the ring on the finger or this or that. And I'm speaking about men or women here. And they walk down the aisle and everything gets relaxed straight afterwards and boom, they're gone. Or maybe a lot of people have come out of the closet now. You know, with this whole Gen Z. People are gay now. They're lesbian, or they're cisgender, pansexual, whatever it is. Is it cisgender? Whatever it is. Who gives a fuck? But whatever you are, which, by the way, look, I respect it, you know. But I don't give a fuck about trying to remember every single one. Especially when people put pressure on that stuff these days. Jesus. Anyway, I'm not having to go off anybody, please know that. Yeah, do you know what, guys? Well, I think we'll leave it there. God, we're ending up on a dire note today. Fucking hell. So, guys, look, the moral of the story here today is, if you get dumped, or you dump somebody, and you're missing them and all that, it doesn't mean that you miss them. Like, I know that myself. It doesn't mean that you miss them. It means that you miss doing something with somebody. I mean, for fuck's sake, if you give up cigarettes, let's be honest, cigarettes are disgusting tasting. And by the way, I smoke, you know, okay, so I'm not Mr. like, oh, look, listen to you. Like, I get it. They're disgusting tasting. Okay? They're expensive. They're not healthy. They make your clothes stink, your hair stink. And I'm speaking about me here, by the way. And yet, I still fucking do it. And if I give up the fags tomorrow, guess what? I'd be in grief, trauma, because I'd miss it. Even though there's nothing that is nice about cigarettes. It's just my routine. That's it. It's my fucking routine. So, is it the same thing when you look at relationships? I mean, we all have a bad relationship. And I realized that too when I got out of some bad relationships in my past, that I knew that there was a part, of course you're going to miss it. It doesn't mean if you miss something that it's a good thing. What it means is that you just miss it because you were doing things in a routine. It was your pattern. So, there's going to be a period of empty space, let's say. And then the other lady, please ladies, don't listen to her when she says, oh well, and she was on about men here, by the way. Okay, she actually even mentioned the word male. So she was saying that males will rather just play with themselves than actually have sex with you because they're feeling conscious about their body. Well, coming from a man, can't speak for everyone, most men I know don't think that. If we're horny, we want the real thing. Unless we're feeling half exhausted and we're tired and we don't want to leave the house, we'll settle for the yes, of course. But if we have an option of having the gorgeous hot girl, well, yes, we're going to go for the gorgeous hot girl any day of the week. All right. Okay, guys. Listen, we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for joining today. We'll be back again with more dating and Formula 1 and general chit-chat banter. Take care. Peter Walsh.